Donkey Kong Bananza. Be a big furry monkey and smash things. Eat bananas and save the day. The end. Alright, so today I'm going to be reviewing Donkey Kong Bananza. This dropped on July 17th for the Switch 2, and it's been received pretty well by most people. I mean, Metacritic right now, the reviewer score is 91, which is phenomenal. I mean, that's in the running for Game of the Year. And then the user score is 9.2, which again, phenomenal. People are just taking to this one, and that's cool. I'm glad that Donkey Kong is getting like his time in the sun again. I mean, he deserves to shine bright. He's been a legacy character for Nintendo for my whole life. I mean, since the original NES, you had the original Donkey Kong game where you're Super Jumpman and you have to save the princess and all that. And yeah, it was a dark game if you think about the story, how Mario ran a zoo and he was abusive to his animals and Donkey Kong raged, and that's why he did the stuff and is the villain in it. I mean, it's understandable. I mean, Donkey Kong is truly the good guy in the game, and Super Jumpman was just a piece of trash. But yeah, then we had the Donkey Kong Country games. They were great. Like, most people love them. They are pretty hard. I mean, they are harder than Dark Souls, in my mind. And yeah, there's a flies down here. It's very annoying. It's very hot right now, and wherever there's light, they're going to be. So forgive me for having these stupid flies just annoying the hell out of me. Anyways, so we have the newest one, Donkey Kong Bananza. And like I said, most people are liking it. But then there's going to be my opinion, which my opinion might be different than the majority of people, at least according to Metacritic. So first, let me go over the positives. First positive I'm going to talk about is the controls. Given controls took me a little bit to get used to. There's a minor thing that's not really a complaint, it's just a personal preference. And that's A is jump, B is like a downward punch, and Y is your main attack. Now, A is also talk to people, and that's where it kind of bothers me. I've never been a fan of when games make like your main interact button also be jump, because sometimes the game will you'll be standing in front of the person and it won't acknowledge the fact that they're there, even though the icon above their head says talk. You hit A and you start jumping. It's whatever, but still, once I got used to the controls and how it's laid out, phenomenal. Like, I love the way it feels to play. The destruction in it is also great. There's a gripe that's going to go in the negatives about that one, because it is a true negative, but also I'll explain why it's not the biggest negative in the world. The story is cute. I like the way it goes. I like having your partner, and she's a pop star and all this stuff, and it's cool. Like, it feels cute, friendly. It's got that Nintendo charm while still being a fun game. And yeah, it's beautiful. Like, the game is beautiful. The worlds are the levels, or layers as they call them, are very well laid out. They're enjoyable. The characters look amazing, and I can't knock it for any of that. Visuals, 10 out of 10. Like, perfect. Especially for being a Switch game, and Switch 2 is not the most powerful game system to exist, but it still does very well. And I mean, I'm playing this on I'm playing it in tabletop mode, because that's just easiest for me. That way I get to use, my little controller, and I have more fun than holding the awkward feeling tablet. Anyways, so those are positives. Oh, music, sorry. Music is great. You collect records and play those songs from your getaways, which I'll talk about what a getaway is in a moment. And yeah, it's great. So before I get into negatives, let's talk about more things in this game that I'll bring up again. So, like I said, getaways. Getaways in your levels, which you can see here, is you talk to this little house-shaped crystal dude, and he'll build a getaway for you. Which a getaway is a place where you can change your clothes, you can sleep to heal up. The more you build on a certain layer, you'll actually get extra hearts, which I feel like they allow you to take less damage, which is beautiful. But you also have the record player, like I said. And yeah, tons of records. There's like over 100 different songs you can play, which I always liked when a game lets you go through there and just, if you want to, just chill out, listen to some music. Now, the other thing that's a kind of adds life to the game is when you go to these getaways, the first time you sleep in one of them, and it's the same, there's hundreds of getaways in the game, and each one you go to for the first time in sleep, you'll have your partner actually come out and ask you a question. Like, hey, DK, are you awake? And she'll go into like this whole little just conversation that she's having. Maybe she's talking about a dream that she had where she was eating so much ice cream that she woke up and turned to ice cream herself, and she was afraid that Donkey Kong was going to eat her. Like, it's just silly things like that, but it's enough to bring out kind of a feeling of life to the game. Like, it makes it feel more alive instead of just being what it is, a video game. And sadly, that brings me into my first thing, and it also involves the destruction element. This game kind of overstays its welcome. This is my first negative. After about 8 hours into it, I was getting pretty tired of it. Just the whole, everything about it. I mean, the destruction's still fun, but then it started to feel like I needed to do it because I needed to keep making money, and you get gold by just punching the ground 1,000 times and destroying everything. Like, it's cool, but it loses its charm because there's just too much time having to be spent doing that to make more money. Especially when you get later in the game, there is a part that asks you for a just insane amount of money, which you should have like about 20,000 gold at that point. But I mean, one guy asked for like 9,000 gold at once, which is a huge chunk, and that took you quite a while to build up. And destruction is another thing that's actually a negative. And this is the one I said, it makes sense why. So again, Switch 2 is not the most powerful system. And this destruction, while it is very fun and looks cool, there's no physics to it. There's physics to a lot of things, but for some reason, when you destroy something, if you take out the bottom layer, the top layer is just going to stay floating there. So if you take out a tower, punch the whole base of it, you then have this tower that's just magically levitating. And given, No Man's Sky is one of my favorite games, and that's another game that has the same thing. If I'm just like absorbing some of the earth to get some materials, I can take out the bottom layer of a tower, and the rest of it will just magically float. And I'm not the biggest fan of that, even though I just said No Man's Sky is one of my favorite games of all time, if not my favorite game of all time. It's something that just annoys the hell out of me. And given I understand it, like I said, Switch 2 is not the most powerful system, adding physics of that magnitude would just destroy the system. The system would just melt, having to process all that, or your frame rate is going to be like 10 frames per second most of the game, if not the entire game. So I understand it, still not a fan of that. I mean, did we still get a fun game out of it? Yeah, it is fun. But the fact that it overstays its welcome, plus that, really to me brings down the score. I can say for graphics, for what it is, yeah, it's way up there. The graphics overall, it's probably about an 8. It's not the best looking game on earth, but it does look really good for what it is. The story, it's cute, but also it's part of why it drags on so long. You get these special forms, which you can turn in, which I'm sure everybody's seen it by now. You could turn into like the bigger, bulkier gorilla. You could turn into a zebra gorilla, an ostrich gorilla, a snake gorilla, which is bizarre, and an elephant gorilla. And yeah, whatever. They all serve their purposes. They have cool little powers. But when you get them, you have to go first find this magical disc. Because again, your partner is a pop star. So she's got to sing. And it's cute. I'm not fully knocking it. But you do the same thing over and over. It's go collect this record sometimes, or after the first one, they're broken up into pieces. So you have to find multiple of them. And you keep going and you do the same thing. And every time you lay them all down, it goes to the same little scene, which this kind of annoys me when they do this. They act like you haven't done this before. Like your characters act like they haven't done this already. So you throw it down and then all of a sudden the like world around you turns into like this dome, and you're turns into like a stadium of sorts. And they look shocked, like, what's this? We've never seen anything like this, except for the past 4 times that you've seen this exact thing happen. And then your partner, she's shy at first, so she's like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I can. And then Donkey Kong's like, oh, I know. I'll drum on my chest. And it takes way longer than it should. And then she gets all excited and she's like, okay, I can do this. And then she shouts out the name of whatever creature you're going to turn into. So, like, the snake. So you do the drumming and it stops for a minute and she's like, okay, I got this. Snake! And then you just think like, oh man, this is Metal Gear Solid and Snake just died. Snake! 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 And it gets old. It gets old. It would have been cool if there were like different things that happened. Maybe the stadium, instead of just being the same dome that goes around where it's like you're inside a disco ball, maybe change it to match that creature. And the elders are all just, for some reason, DJs, which whatever, it fits into this world and how they have it set up. But some change to make it more interesting than just seeing literally the same thing over and over. Again, that's probably just personal preference. You may enjoy every second of that. I lost interest after I saw it the second time. And I was like, oh, we're going to be doing this multiple times. Also, throwing in these creatures, like these different forms you could turn into, leads to the dragging out the game and just overstaying its welcome. Again, about 8 hours into it, I was over it. To also drag it out, we have these cool little side missions, which at first were fun. I did enjoy them. Which you basically sing to remove the void tape that's on it, and then you go in and there'll be a couple different types, which it may be like, defeat X amount of enemies on this before the timer runs out. Or, what else did we have? Like, destroy certain things and then you get a banana at the end. Or, my favorite one out of all of them was actually a destruction thing. There's this building in front of you. You got to find the bananas hidden in there. Well, I think the first one was just destroy the whole thing. So you go through and destroy like a percentage of the building and then you get the banana. And this one also had like a hidden floor, like a hole in the floor, which you go down, there's an extra banana there. And there was one that took me a while, which I believe it was just hanging from a ceiling and I forget to look up sometimes. I watched that movie, Don't Look Up, or is it Look Up? I think it's Don't Look Up. I can't remember. It's a Netflix movie, Leonardo DiCaprio. And yeah, I just don't look up. Like I'm a dog. I don't think about using my eyes to see what's above me. So that was on me. That it took me like an extra 5 minutes to find this thing. And yeah, that one was fun. But a lot of them aren't. There's even ones that do a callback where you have from Donkey Kong Country, there were missions where you were levels where you were on a mine cart and you had to jump and do all this stuff and just make it to the end. Those were entertaining for a while. Actually those, I don't think I ever got tired of them. There's even boss fights that revolve around being in a minecart and they keep things interesting. But that's not a majority of the game that keeps things interesting. And that killed it for me. Literally, before I got to the boss fight, which the final fight is pretty cool. But before I got there, I would see these side quests and I would just be like, dude, I don't want to. I just don't want to. Yeah, I'm going to get a banana out of that. It'll help me level up, which you can see here, level up. And it's entertaining. But yeah, it's God, that game just wore me out. And I wasn't playing it nonstop. I played it after work. I'd play it before work a little bit, maybe an hour or two here and there. And then on the weekends, I'd play maybe 4 hours of the game, each day. It just way overstayed its welcome. And it wasn't fun enough for me to keep into it, to want to keep going. To the point where when I was getting frustrated during the boss fight, especially when I died the first time through it, I had one hit left on him, but I stepped on something that I couldn't see and I died. There was literally a speck, one little speck of this poisonous material right there, mixed in with all the stuff that I had made safe to walk on. And that was enough to kill me. And that made me just want to take the game out and chuck it across the room. That was super frustrating, but then I went through and I ended up beating it after that. And again, it took me 21 hours to beat this game. And I did a lot of messing around. So maybe it's only a 15-hour game if you're not just sitting there trying to see how much of a world you can destroy. Because there's also this little guy you could talk to will say like, hey, you know, if you can destroy 7,000 meters of this material on this level, then I'll give you a banana. And you can go through and see exactly how much world you destroyed on each layer, which is cool. I like that. I couldn't imagine what it's like if you maxed out everything, how long it would take to actually do that. But yeah, I mean, because it overstayed its welcome, and I just completely lost interest in it after I started to lose interest in 8 hours in. About 12 hours in, I was like, this game just needs to end. It needs to end. I mean, when I got my last form, which I think it was this, or is the elephant. By the time I got to the elephant, I was just so done. Just did not care. Did not care at all. To the point where I really started to reflect back on the game, and I went through all my clips that I had recorded off of it, and yeah, I don't think this is Game of the Year material. I don't think it's the best thing on Switch 2. It's not the best Donkey Kong game. I mean, I could say that much. It starts off being the most fun, but I mean, I'll take Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2. I mean, probably 2. 2 was my favorite album. I just love Diddy Kong, and then having Diddy and Dixie was fantastic. But anyways, Bosses also started to be reused way too soon, and I'm usually not super hard against that because Mega Man. I love Mega Man. You get to the end of Mega Man after beating all the bosses, and the final level is basically just go through, beat all the bosses again, and then you fight the final boss. Once or twice. Or 3 times. And yeah, it is what it is. But halfway through the game, they started reusing bosses. And I was just like, this is... yeah, you ran out of steam that quick. I don't know. There's a lot of things lacking in the game. It has a lot of positives to it. And if you like it, good for you. Like, if it's your game of the year, cool. But for me, no, this game is mid to high. It's about a 6.5 out of 10. And I know a lot of people love it. And that's why I don't get what I'm missing. Do I just expect too much out of a game? I mean, it could be. It could be. Maybe I'm just on a different level than you guys. I'm like way down here and you guys are up here in Cloud 9 enjoying the hell out of this game. But no, for me, sadly, this game is not the best. It's not... I wouldn't even put it on the best Nintendo games of July. And it's the Nintendo game of July. Yeah, that's me. This game is not great. I think most of these reviews are just way overinflated. I think most of them, even people I've seen on YouTube, I don't think they beat the game. I think they played maybe 2-3 levels. I mean, there's people who said that they beat it the day they got it. I also don't believe that unless literally you did nothing but that all day from the moment you woke up till you went to bed. It's longer than 5 hours. And maybe they lost interest at 8 hours and they were like, hey, you know what? I'm done. Whatever. I played enough of it. But I don't think that's fair. And really to give it like a 9 out of 10 is pushing it. Is pushing it. Again, if you liked it, good for you. But when I read these critic reviews, a lot of them are just way overinflated. I don't think Metacritic should be showing a 91. You can't see my phone, whatever. A 91 with all of them being positive. 100% of the scores from reviewers are positive. There's no mixed, no negative. I mean, I wouldn't give it a negative. Definitely wouldn't. Mixed. It is mixed. It has some positives. It's cute, but no, I'm sorry. Anyways, that's my take on it. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with this. They're probably going to be like, well, you're dumb. You're stupid because this game is great. That's not really telling me why it's great and why I'm wrong on all this. I mean, I would need you'd actually go in detail instead of just throwing out some dumb insult. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, let me know why you enjoyed it, especially if you beat it. If you played all the way through, let me know why you enjoyed it and why what I'm saying is wrong, how it did not overstay its welcome. It did not just feel like you were doing the same thing over and over and over. Yes, I understand the levels change and there's different like things you got to worry about. Like this one, you might have poison, and this one you have lava you can't touch. That's not enough for me. It's why I also don't play games like Dark Souls, besides the fact that I don't care for how slow the combat is. Dark Souls literally is just the same thing over and over and over. And I play RPGs where I just grind and I fight literally the same enemies over and over and over and do the same moves over and over and over. But I don't know, I just got so sick of it. It's sad. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you think, and until next time, you take care. Hey, thanks for watching.
Give us a like if you enjoyed it, and dislike it if you didn't.
Let us know what you think about the channel.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Tell your mom.